Hey everyone, welcome back to Sportlab, where the beautiful game meets sharp analysis. Today, we're diving into Nottingham Forest's massive 2-1 away win over Tottenham, a result that fires them back into third place and sends a big message in the Champions League race. Let's get into it.
So that Champions League dream is on, and let's remind ourselves what a dream this is, because the last time Nottingham Forest played in Europe's top competition was in the 1980-81 season, when they were holders, ironically enough. When you sign there, you know about the history and the tradition in Europe. It's been a long, long time. If they can get over the line to be playing in the Champions League next season, you know what that means to Nottingham Forest and their supporters.
Well, it's absolutely huge. I mean, to be playing back in the Premier League and being in the top half is first things first. To be anywhere near Europe, I don't think anyone was expecting that this year. To get into the Europa League or the Conference, maybe. But to have the chance of Champions League at this stage of the football is just immense for the football club. I mean, it's huge strides they're making under this manager.
If they can do it, Michael, I mean, we've seen, obviously, Villa get back after a long time this season. Leicester, when they won the league, got to the quarter-finals of the Champions League. But recently, where would that rank from where Forest have come so quickly if they were able to be playing in the Champions League next season?
A big surprise. They have been flirting with relegation, of course, last season. To make these giant strides would be quite phenomenal. And we've seen, haven't we, over recent years, you normally get one huge story. Obviously, the biggest story of them all, I guess, was Leicester winning the league. But in recent times, we've had some incredible performances. I mean, Aston Villa emerging last season, I'd say, into Champions League football and developing into a really good team. I think it's Nottingham Forest's time this season. And it's incredible to think what that can do for a club. Can that almost drag them further forward in how they want to evolve, and actually, can they be one of the great clubs again, and cement that sort of status with all the money that's going to come, with potentially even being able to attract even better players as well? Can they cement themselves as serious players in the Champions League and around European competition for the long term? So who knows what it'll do to the club, but if it's just for the fun value, if it's just for the fans having a great season both this year and next year, then it's well worth it. I mean, it's been an incredible, and they do deserve it. I mean, they have been stunning this season, and I just felt that today was the big acid test. If they won today, I think, right, yeah, they're going to go and do it. But if they didn't, it's a little slippery slope that they were on. But yeah, you could see in the face as well of the manager, the players, it was it was more than a celebration, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's a reminder of why football fans can dream, because let's remind ourselves, on the last day of last season, they weren't mathematically safe in the Premier League. So to go from that to, as we sit here now, third, and in a Champions League spot.
That is the beauty of football, isn't it? You don't know what you're going to expect when you turn up to watch your team play at the start of the season. All of a sudden, you get on a run, you get a bit of confidence, and you go on from there. And they're playing in a very good system, and the players are playing at their true potential, and this is what's happening. They're getting great results.
Let's have a look what they've got left, because we mentioned they've got a semi-final to get to a FA Cup final at the weekend. They've got 5 league games to go, and apart from Chelsea on the last day, all those teams are in the bottom half of the Premier League table at the moment.
Exactly that. I mean, out of all the teams that are chasing those Champions League places, I think Nottingham Forest is the best run between now and the end of the season. They've had a hard game today away from home, obviously the last game, but even so, Chelsea at home, you've still got to fancy Forest to get something out of that game. And it might not even go to that if they can do the business in the next few games in the Premier League, and it might not even go to that. So, yeah, I look at that and think Nottingham Forest are now the favourites. Not only have they got the points in the bag, 1 or 2, 3 points more than the teams up there, but they've also got the nicest running. And after that result tonight, they're also really buoyant, really happy, really confident about what's to come.
The next 4 league games there Forest are playing, they've beaten all 4 teams already this season.
Definitely got the best running when you look up there. Add to that the fact of playing in the semi-final of the FA Cup as well. If you get a good result there and you've got the FA Cup to look forward to, you just confidence is running through your veins. Who knows where that can take you. So, it's a great lift tonight and puts them in a great position again.
When you look at that, we've narrowed it down to 7th on 57 points. There's only 3 points between 5 clubs. If I pushed you now, which 2 would miss out?
Well, I do like Manchester City's running as well. Of course, they're going to have a difficult game against Aston Villa at home. That's going to be a biggie. But after that, I know Wolves are on a great run, but they are playing them at home. Southampton are already down. I'm sure they'll beat Southampton. Bournemouth at home again. Fulham. I mean, that's not the worst running either. I would say that Forest, Newcastle, actually the 3 teams...
As it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Chelsea and Villa to miss out for you?
Yes. Chelsea have got quite a hard run in there. I mean, Everton are playing really well at the moment. Liverpool, good luck beating Liverpool. Newcastle away, what a big game that is. Manchester United and then Nottingham Forest. I mean, I think Chelsea's is the hardest running. So I think, the 3 that are in possession at the moment, they say possession is 9/10 of the law. I think they might hang on to it.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Chelsea definitely got the toughest. You always expect Man City to keep going till the end of the season because they're used to it. That's what they do. Pep demands it of his teams. Newcastle, decent running, and Forest are back in form again, yeah, so I agree with Michael.
Yeah, I think if Villa can beat Manchester City in the next game, then all of a sudden that throws the cat amongst the pigeons. But if it's a draw or City win, then I do think that'll almost count them out. And they're the informed team. They're playing particularly well, especially at Villa Park, playing really well. But no, I think Forest, Newcastle, Manchester City now. And
it's tonight so important, Ted, because we wondered before the game, these players, new territory for a lot of them. Can they deal with that expectation? You called it the business end of the season, and they've produced a result when it mattered.
Yeah, as I say, it's all about confidence now, and they've got 2 things to look forward to with the semi-final of the FA Cup. That's massive for a club like Nottingham Forest. They didn't expect to be here. They're, as I say, the confidence will be running through their veins at the moment. They're probably loving everything that the manager tells them that's going to happen. He's looking after them. Obviously, they're all playing to their true potential. And when you do that individually and as a team collectively, you've got a chance of winning. And they are performing.
And the real togetherness about the squad.
Yeah, I mean, they've been keeping the players fit all season. They haven't used that many players compared to the rest of the Premier League. It looks like there was a great team spirit been built. They're confident. They've got a good run in. They've got points in the bag. What's not to like about Nottingham Forest season so far?
Absolutely. OK. And let's get some reaction then. And talk to Elliot Anderson, one of Nottingham Forest goal scorers tonight, who's waiting to join us now from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Elliot, well done. How big a win was that at this stage of the season?
Yeah, it was huge for us. Obviously, we came off the back of 2 defeats, so it was really important to get back on track and do what we've been doing all season. And everyone in there is buzzing to get the 3 points and take it back to Nottingham. And
you started right on the front foot and, of course, got off to a great start with your goal.
Yeah, it was really important to come out and come out fast, try and get that first goal. It set us in good stead for the game, and I think obviously Woody's second one was brilliant. So and then it's just about holding on to the lead, really.
Elliot, it's Michael Owen here. Well played. I mean, in that first 20 minutes, I was watching you. You played about 3 or 4 of the most incredible passes, a couple of crosses, and scored as well. How good is that when you're playing and after 20 minutes you feel as if you're almost controlling the game? It was an exhibition at times there.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice feeling. I feel it's something I want to do as a player. Whenever I get the ball, I'm trying to go forward and play it into our attacking players and let them do their stuff. And it was just a real good flow at the start of the game. I was picking it up in nice positions and finding the players. So, I was really enjoying it out there.
And when you've got players like you have, a lot of the time you can sit back and almost sometimes play on the counter-attack. You've got a lot of space and you've got a lot of pace in wide areas. As a midfielder, when you've got those options and then you've got the big man up front, how good is that when you get the ball? You've got so many options in this team.
Yeah, it's perfect. We've got different things. We've got Woody that can hold it up. We've got Ant and that can go in behind. And we're hard to beat. And then when we win the ball, we just try and play forward first thing and counter really, which seems to be working.
And what a fantastic situation to be in. Into top 3, 5 league games to go. But next up, Wembley. We saw you in the stands supporting Newcastle. Now you get to play there in an FA Cup semi-final.
No, I'm buzzing. I'm really looking forward to that one. It'll be a proud day, and I think we've sort of just got to attack it as it's just a normal game, really, and try and get through to the final.
Yeah, and then of course 5 league games to go, as I say, to try and get this dream of the Champions League. We saw you taste it with Newcastle, San Siro, the Paris Saint-Germain night. So you're one of the few in the team who've had that experience. If you could do it with Forest and this group, what would that mean?
Oh, I'm desperate to be there again. It was a really proud moment playing the Champions League, and to be honest, I never thought I'd be probably playing in it in my first season away from Newcastle. But I think if we keep going in the way we're going and do what we've done all season, then I've got a good chance.
Well, really well played tonight. Big result for Forest. Thanks for joining us, Elliot.
Thank you. Cheers.
And you're right, you were really impressed with him tonight.
Yeah, he started the game so well. His array of passing, obviously his goal, had a little bit of luck with the deflection. But it must be nice playing in a team whereby when you pick up the ball, you've got options. You know, and they have got a variety of options. They've got a bit of pace. They can play into feet. They can, if they're in danger, they can chip a ball into the big man up front, and Chris Wood will make a bad ball into a good one. So it must be lovely to play in that position when there's a bit of space ahead of you as well. And I mean, he thrived. That first 20 minutes, I was drooling over his performance.
And for all Chris Wood's plaudits and numbers this season, he's gone 6 without a goal. He'll be delighted that's over and to get that all-important second one it turned out to be.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, talked about it at half-time. It's quite an easy set piece that can be looped into the box, but they played it out wide, got half a yard, get the ball in the box, and you're feeding your centre forward. He doesn't do an awful lot in this position. If you see him right in the middle of the pitch there, he just gets himself onto Romero. Might give him a little nudge forward, and he's in a four yard gap in between the two centre halves there, and beats the goalkeeper to it. And lovely little glancing header, as we said at half time. Even if the goalkeeper had stayed on his line, that header would have beaten him anyway. So fantastic goal from Wood's point of view.
And when the ball comes in flat and hard like that, Teddy, it's almost like you can jump early, because you can lose power if you jump so early. But when the ball is coming so quick, power doesn't matter, does it? You're almost heading into an empty goal. But I just thought there, with a big lad, he jumped so early, no one can get near him as well, especially the size of him, the strength.
And then you just guide it, and you just guide it into that area.
And 19 Premier League goals now this season for Nottingham Forest Chris Wood. Right, let's get some Spurs reaction. Here's their manager, Ange Postecoglou.
Ange, the result probably doesn't tell the full story there. What was your assessment of the performance?
Yeah, it's disappointing. Yeah, it's a game we should never lose. It's another one we've let slip. Really disappointing with the goals we conceded. And the most frustrating thing is our football outside of that I thought was outstanding. Couldn't dominate any more than we did or create the chances, but it's hurt us all year that we just conceded poor goals and given ourselves a mountain to climb.
Did it feel like mistakes being repeated? The manner of the 2 goals you did concede?
It's not about mistakes being repeated. It's just that sort of concentration, focus, and for every minute of the game, which we had Thursday night. We didn't seem to have at the beginning of the game, and it was only after we conceded we kind of sort of knuckled down and started playing our football. But like I said, you can't sort of give teams 2 goal starts.
When you did knuckle down, though, you must have been pleased with the response, because it might have gone either way, and you got a lot from your players after that.
Oh yeah, look, I don't think even on the balance of way we deserved to lose that game. We certainly had enough chances, and our football was good. But that's been our problem all year, is that it's not a matter of our football. It's about maintaining our focus and concentration for the whole game. And there's too many games this year we've lost in that manner, and that's why we're in the position we are.
In terms of the changes you were making as well, were you comfortable that you were able to do that with one eye on what is ahead?
Yeah, look, we always pre-planned for Mickey and Romero to play 45, and same with Kulusevski and Wilson. They haven't played for quite a while, so give them about 60 but everyone got through it okay, I guess. But that's one thing. The other thing is, like I said, we wanted to maintain momentum, and unfortunately, we missed that opportunity.
Yeah, he's talking about minutes for players there, but you're right. It won't have any effect on the overall Premier League season. But you can hear his frustration and disappointment at another Premier League defeat there, Teddy.
I think he's talking there from a Tottenham supporter perspective, that they're not going to be happy. Another defeat at home, another loss in the Premier League doesn't look good reading. But in the back of his mind, the main part of tonight is coming through that again, getting his two centre halves, keeping them fit, having other players, Kulusevski, coming back into the frame, so that they're ready for the Europa League. I mean, it's hard for him to come out and say, I don't really care about the result, but I'm sure he doesn't. The season is a disaster from a Premier League point of view, but now it's all about Europa League, and they need success. He needs to do what he said at the start of the season, that he wins stuff in his second season, and he's still got a chance to do that. So that's where it all lies.
But he did say there, we need momentum. You can't just switch it on and turn it on again when a big European semi-final comes around.
No, that's probably why he's disappointed. He wants to build that momentum. I mean, listen, it's a while ago, isn't it, since he's been backing himself into a corner, but he really is now, because, the more and more games you lose, the more and more, the only thing that matters now in Tottenham's season is a separate competition that they've got a chance of winning in. If they can win a couple of games in the Premier League, it lightens the mood around the camp. There's not so many angry questions directed towards him. But in games like this, when he's rotating, resting, managing minutes and all the rest of it, it's all pointing to the one direction, and that's the Europa League now. That's the be-all and end-all. Now, if they go out in the semi-finals, it's, as Teddy said before the game, it's just a disaster all round. So he's backing himself into a corner. He's got to come out and win that tournament, or at least get to the final to salvage what's been a poor season. But if they do win it, all of a sudden, it's been a great season. It's incredible.
I think he'd be very disappointed in little details, like the header from Porro in the first to create the first goal. It's an easy header to clear. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do his job. He's standing on the near post. That should be back in the stand, away from his goal.
Teddy, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Michael, thank you as always. In the end, it was Forest tonight. They're back. It's the top three. From us three, see you soon.
Forest bounced back in a big way after 2 straight losses, and they did it in style at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It all started with Elliot Anderson, who opened the scoring with a deflected strike that wrong-footed Guglielmo Vicario in the 10th minute. And just 6 minutes later, Chris Wood did what he's been doing all season, finding the back of the net. That was his 19th league goal of the campaign. Cold, clinical, consistent. Despite the early double blow, Spurs weren't short on possession or chances. In fact, they dominated large spells of the game, especially in the second half. Richarlison gave them late hope with a sharp finish in the 87th minute, but it wasn't enough to rescue a result. Tactical take. Credit to Nuno Espírito Santo. Forest were compact, disciplined, and lethal on the break. While Tottenham had the ball, Forest had the points. Elliot Anderson's energy in midfield and Wood's hold-up play gave Forest the edge early on, and defensively, they weathered Spurs' second-half storm brilliantly. Murillo and Bowley were rocks at the back once again. League impact. This result launches Forest back into third, leapfrogging Newcastle, Man City, and Chelsea in the process. The UCL hopes are very much alive. As for Spurs, that's now 4 defeats in 5. Ange Postecoglou's side has slipped to 16th, and serious questions are now being asked about their form, their focus, and their future under the Aussie boss. Forest fans, are you dreaming of Champions League nights? And Spurs supporters, what needs to change to get back on track? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed the breakdown, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat with Sportlab. Until next time, stay sharp.